of the high schools in your community.
This is a presentation of high school sports on Fort Wayne Sports Station. The Kester's Postgame Show, powered by Pizza Hut. Live from the mic at Coventry Village. On 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
And good evening and welcome to the Kester's Postgame Show, live at our new 1380 The Fan postgame studio, where we'll be coming to you after our Friday game of the week every Friday night, bringing you area scores, a recap of tonight's game that we covered just before coming here, and a whole lot more. We'll be talking to coaches, we'll be talking to Brett Rump, who is out calling the game, and also possibly Shannon Griffith. So once again, welcome to the Kester's High School Football Postgame Show, live on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM, and we are not just live on the airwaves on your radio dial tonight. We are also coming to you live via our new studio broadcast. We are on Facebook. Just search 1380 The Fan on Facebook and search 1380 The Fan on YouTube. We are there. We are looking for your live comments. We would love to read them. If you have any comments on the game you went to tonight, any thought on some of tonight's final scores, then we would love to hear from you, and we would love to have you tune into this post-game show. Once again, this is the Kester's post-game show, talking about high school football here tonight, and in our Midwest Box Breaks high school football game of the week tonight. You heard a fantastic game to start week one out at Leo High School, just northeast of Fort Wayne, as the Leo Lions defeated Bishop Luers tonight by a score of 14-7. So scoring was at a premium. You know, winning team only comes up with 2 touchdowns, and the losing team gets 1. So we're going to hear about the defensive effort from both sides on that game, which was our 1380 The Fan game of the week, brought to you by our good friends at Midwest Box Breaks. Also, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to be bringing you a lot of the final scores from in and around the area. Keep in mind, as we are in week one, there's going to be a lot of scores that are, not representative of conference play. Most teams in the area are playing an out-of-conference game tonight to start week one of their conference. And let's go ahead and I'll just give you the final scores that I do have here so far for you tonight. This is our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard, and I do have some finals here for you so far tonight, but they are continuing to roll in. Keep in mind, almost all games are out of conference, but we are going to start with our SAC area teams. In our 1380 The Fan game of the week, brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks, which you heard Shannon Griffith and Brett Rump call just moments ago, it was the Leo Lions defeating the Bishop Luers Knights by a score of 14-7. Also in SAC team action, it was Northrop all over New Haven tonight, shutting them out 41-0. Taking a look at some of our Northeast 8 area teams playing tonight out of conference, Heritage shut out Belmont tonight 42-0, and it was Mississinawa over Norwell tonight by a score of 35-0. Some AC schools playing out of conference tonight. It was Jay County defeating Blackford by a score of 56-6. Eastside defeated Woodland by a score of 38-6. Adams Central and the Garrett Railroaders had a close one, a defensive battle in Adams Central, and AC comes out over Garrett tonight 7-0. Also, South Adams was facing Marion Local, a team out of Ohio, and it was Marion Local defeating South Adams 56-0. One more ACAC team playing an out-of-conference game tonight. It was Elwood defeating Southern Wells tonight by a score of 14-8. Do have one final score for an NECC team tonight as well. It was Fairfield defeating Goshen by a score of 30-23. So as scores continue to pour in from in and around the area, we'll also be ready to set up with Brett Rump here in a little bit, and we're going to be talking about more of these final scores and what they mean as far as week one standings in all of these conferences and more. So get ready, get buckled up. Again, if you haven't checked it out, you might want to check out our video stream of the post-game show. We're live on Facebook at 1380 The Fan, and we're also live on YouTube at 1380 The Fan as well. So take a look at there, or just keep us tuned in right here on your dial. We'll be back with more final scores, more thoughts from tonight's game, and a heck of a lot of fun as we continue on the Kester's post-game show live at Pizza Hut, or powered by Pizza Hut. We're not live at Pizza Hut anymore. A lot of return listeners might be used to us being at a Pizza Hut for a post-game show, but we are still powered by Pizza Hut, but we're here at our new studio. So again, you're listening to the Kester's post-game show powered by Pizza Hut right here live on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Kester's in New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks and
And welcome back to the Kester's Postgame Show, powered by Pizza Hut, coming to you live from our new studios here, our new 1380 The Fan Postgame studio, where you can tune in and watch us live and leave comments and all of that. And so we would love to see you on our streams if you're not tuned in on the radio. Of course, if you are tuned in on the radio, get home safely, drive safe. We love that. But if you are somewhere where you can tune in and watch us on our new video stream, we would love to show off our fantastic new studio here, as we've got a whole desk, a whole backdrop. I look like a news anchor, basically. So if you want to see me coming in here and looking like a news anchor, see our new fancy setup, we invite you to check us out at 1380 The Fan on YouTube. And then there is also a link to our YouTube stream on our Facebook at 1380 The Fan on Facebook. So tune in there, check us out there. But if you're listening on the radio, we're happy you're here as well. We have an update to our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven high school football scoreboard for week 1, so I will go ahead and read you through the new final scores that I have for you, as well as the ones that I mentioned to you last segment. Keep in mind that most of these teams were playing out-of-conference games tonight for week 1 of action. Starting off in SAC teams, it was East Noble shutting out Wayne tonight at Wayne by a score of 42-0. So a dominant performance from East Noble. Keep an eye out from them as they continue out through the season. Another final that I do have for you, Bishop Dwenger went out to Ron Colley tonight for their week 1 action. And it was a defensive battle at Ron Colley tonight. And Ron Colley does get the win over Bishop Dwenger 3-0. So that's a 0-1 start to the Saints for their season. Of course, in our 1380 The Fan High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks, you heard Brett Rump and Shannon Griffith call a 14-7 win by Leo over Bishop Luers. Another final for you with an SAC team, it was Northrop all over New Haven tonight, shutting them out 41-0. Couple in the Northeast 8 teams in our area, it was Heritage over Belmont tonight by a score of 42-0, and it was Mississinawa shutting out Norwell 35-0. Moving on to our ACAC teams playing out of conference tonight, it was Jay County over Blackford by a score of 56-6. Eastside got the win over Woodland 38-6. It was Adams Central over Garrett in a defensive battle 7-0. Marion Local, a school out of Ohio, shut out South Adams tonight by a score of 56-0. And it was Elwood defeating Southern Wells by a score of 14-8. And looking at our NECC area teams playing out of conference tonight, it was Churubusco over Bremen by a score of 36-7, and Fairfield got the best of Goshen tonight by a score of 30-23. Again, soon we'll be having a couple call-ins from the one and only Brett Rump, who was on the call of tonight's game right here on our airwaves between Leo and Bishop Luers. So we're going to hear all about that. And we're also going to get his thoughts on some of the other finals from tonight, as it's only week 1, but these records are already going to start mattering, especially in the SAC, where just 1 or 2 losses can put you out of contention at the end of the season. So we'll hear about Leo's win over Bishop Luers tonight, so that'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And again, we are live here at our brand new 1380 The Fan postgame studio. I can't tell you the location, unfortunately. That's still undisclosed, but we are coming to you live from our secret bunker, we'll call it, here in our new 1380 The Fan postgame studio. So, what do we got coming up next? We're going to keep talking about tonight's games. We're going to keep previewing some exciting matchups next week. We're going to talk to Brett Rump about the game he called tonight between Leo and Bishop Luers right here on 1380 The Fan. Get his thoughts on some of the other results from around the area tonight, and a whole lot more. We'll maybe even talk to a coach on the phone, a winning coach from one of tonight's games. So keep it locked. We are here doing the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven halftime scoreboard updates, and we're doing a whole lot more here on the Kester's postgame show, coming to you live from Pizza Hut. You are tuned in either online on our new stream at 1380 The Fan on Facebook and YouTube, or on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM on your dial.
Are you currently Serving your family for over 40 years.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Kester's in New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks, including semi, dump, box, straight, and roll-off trucks, trailers, and more. Kester's has a state-of-the-art 70,000 square foot facility with a complete detail and wash facility with degrease bay and 2 10-tower frame racks and alignment rack for heavy trucks. Kester's can also lengthen and shorten frames. Kester's on Highway 930 East between the Cloverleaf and downtown New Haven. Online at KesterSales.com. Do you remember the good old days as a kid when you were sitting at home, eagerly tearing open a pack of sports trading cards? Oh, the anticipation builds as you uncover rare rookie cards, autographed gems, and limited edition memorabilia. Well, not much has changed. Card collecting and trading is just as exciting as ever. Experience the thrill of opening a treasure trove of sports trading cards at Midwest Box Breaks, your ultimate destination.
Hello, Coventry. 2 minutes. I say again, 2 minutes till we come back to you, Coventry.
Value the customer. Respect the hobby. Midwest Box Breaks.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Are you ready to create a feast for all your senses? Treat your loved ones and find out why we hear so often that the Back 40 Junction in Decatur is their favorite smorgasbord. Every plate is a mouth-watering, delicious masterpiece made by you. Picture this: juicy prime rib, tender pot roast, crispy chicken wings, breaded fish, ham, turkey, brisket, all on one plate. Add buttery mashed potatoes, veggies, fresh yeast rolls, cheeses, soups, and a full salad bar. And your feast with a slice of Wix pie and our mouth-watering dessert bar. For more info, visit us online. That's the Back 40 Junction in Decatur.
It seems like it took forever for summer to finally arrive, but when it did, oh my, what a cooker we've had during these last couple of months. And I'm sure it's been a test on your car's air conditioner. Do you know if you're not getting ice cold air, or it just seems like it has to run and run and run to even make it comfortable in your car? Maybe it's time to get that air conditioner serviced, and you do that by taking it to where I take my car, Cruzy Automotive Service. Cruzy Automotive Service has been in business for over 40 years, and they're true professionals when it comes to air conditioning service. Plus, Cruzy Automotive Service is the place to go for your oil change. You know, you just mentioned this ad, and you can get an oil change, 5-quart regular oil, for as low as $19.99. That's at Cruzy Automotive Service Center. They're conveniently located on Lima Road, north of Wallen, south of Till, right behind the Shell gas station. For any kind of routine service or maintenance on your vehicle, all makes, all models, you can trust Cruzy Automotive Service. 489-1089. Call Cruzy, K-R-U-S-E, today.
Here's more from the high school football postgame show, live from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut. Now let's get back to the guys recapping all the action from tonight.
And welcome back to the Kester's High School Football Postgame Show, coming to you live from our fantastic new postgame studio, which our engineers have been hard at work for a long time, doing their best to set up and make us look like we're some sort of professionals. And so big thank you to our engineers who have this fantastic studio now set up for us to come to you live every Friday night, every post game. We're going to be coming to you right here, talking about all of our area teams, all of our area scores, and more. And it does look really nice. So if you'd like to check us out on the stream. We're on YouTube at 1380 The Fan. Just search us there and you'll find our live broadcast. Or if you want to find us via Facebook, you can also check us out at facebook.com/1380thefan. And you have a link to our stream there as well if you want to join us. Or like I said in our previous segment, if you're just joining us on the radio dial, drive safe, and we're happy to have you with us here as we summarize our night of football from around the area. Back for our third segment, I'm joined by not only my boss, but my good friend, Josh Williams. Josh, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. This is what a setup that we're at. I mean, we're here at the Mike here in Coventry Village, and this place is absolutely beautiful. The tireless efforts, as you were just mentioning, that went into making this happen, and here we are. We actually get to be one of the first to actually broadcast inside of this brand new state-of-the-art facility, and I could go on and on about that, but I know we want to talk about some football. How about that weather out there? You couldn't have asked for a better opening night than what you had tonight out there, and that was all across the area. And some of the games, too. I mean, I know that we were kind of keeping our eye on that Snyder-Warsaw game, and, man, I think, is that still going on?
It is still going on. We were in the fourth quarter of that game, and Snyder had actually just pulled back 30-30 with Warsaw after being down. They got a 2-point conversion to get everything tied up at 30, but then here comes Warsaw with another one, and they get a good 2-point conversion. So it's now 38-30 Warsaw in the fourth. So, you know,
I got to ask you, Adam, did you see this coming? Now, this high score of a game, I mean, we're at 68 points altogether here. Warsaw runs that option offense. There's no way that I would have thought they would score 38 points running the option style of offense that they run.
No, I agree, and it does kind of bring into question a little bit the defense of Snyder, but, you know, maybe they weren't ready for this wishbone offense that, you know, Warsaw presents. So definitely caught on the back of their heels here a little bit in game one, but they're going for the end zone here late here in the fourth, and it looks like it was actually just intercepted by Warsaw. I don't know how much time is left in the game, but that could be a dagger right there.
That could be the dagger right there. But a hard-fought performance by both of these two teams.
No question. But you asked me, does this surprise me? And my answer would be no. Warsaw, we saw, was a really good team last year, made it down to Lucas Oil.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't just throw them out of the cupboard just because they're not SAC. You know,
and
Warsaw's
clearly the defense too is pretty darn good there.
Coming up with an interception, that's absolutely huge. But we'll be keeping an eye on this Warsaw-Snyder final as that continues to tick down there at Spooler Stadium. Let me go ahead and run through our final scores that we do have for you so far here tonight. This is our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard, and some interesting finals here so far tonight as we run through these. We're going to start, of course, keep in mind these teams are all playing, you know, out of conference tonight, so we know we don't have any SAC matchups or anything like that, but some interesting games nonetheless. We are going to start with our SAC area teams that have gone final. It was East Noble, another area school, not SAC, comes into Wayne and shuts them out in dramatic fashion, 42-0.
Whoa.
So credit to the non-SAC schools tonight. Defensive battle tonight at Ron Colley. They hold Bishop Dwenger to 0 and score 3 themselves. So it was Ron Colley over Bishop Dwenger, 3-0. Also in the SAC teams tonight, our 1380 The Fan Game of the Week brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks. It was Leo over Bishop Lures in a close one, 14-7. I can confirm that that game between the Warsaw Tigers and Snyder has now gone final. That interception did do the Panthers in, and the Tigers get the win in the Battle of the Cats, 38-30. One more from the SAC that has gone final. It was Northrop shutting out the New Haven Bulldogs, 41-0. Little dominance for the SAC, a little get back there. Moving on to our NE8 area teams that are playing out of conference tonight. It was a close one again between Eastbrook and Huntington North. The Vikings, they fall to Eastbrook by a score of 21-20. Also, NE8 teams in our area, it was Heritage over Belmont, shutting them out 42-0. And for one more just good measure, throwing another shutout, it was Mississinewa over Norwell, 35-0. ACAC area teams playing out of conference tonight. It was Jay County all over Blackford tonight by a score of 56-6. Eastside over Woodland, 38-6. Adams Central got a shot out of Garrett, but did not score heavily, winning 7-0. Marion Local, a school out of Ohio, South Adams traveled to them to play them tonight, and it was all Marion Local over South Adams by a score of 56-0. And one more ACAC area team, it was Southern Wells falling to Elwood by a score of 14-8. The Northeast Corner Conference teams in our area tonight that have gone final. Churubusco got the win over Bremen, 36-7, and it was Fairfield over Goshen, 30-23. Still some scores coming in from all around the area, and we'll keep an eye on those as they continue to pour in. But definitely some interesting results. I mean, you see shutouts, you see, shootouts.
We've had it all here on this opening night of high school football.
It's interesting, and you try to gather what you can from these out-of-conference games and kind of try to pick and pull little bits of information and kind of get an idea of what these teams might start looking at when they get into conference play. But at the same time, it is a little bit difficult. But we got some good people coming in to help us break down what's gone down so far tonight. I can tell you that Brett Rump, who called the game tonight between Leo and Bishop Luers right here on our airwaves, will be here in the studio tonight in our brand new studios. And he's going to join us and tell us his thoughts about all of these finals so far and about the game that he called tonight alongside Shannon Griffith. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take our next break here on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Again, before we do, we invite you to check out our awesome new stream at our fantastic new studios. You can check those out at YouTube, 1380 The Fan. All you have to do is just go to YouTube, search 1380 The Fan, and we'll be right there on our live stream. All right, we'll be back with more with the Kester's postgame show live on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Cruzy Automotive Service is proud to once again support high school football on 1380 The Fan. Cruzy has been a trusted source for your automotive service and maintenance and a supporter of youth sports in the Fort Wayne area. They offer quality service at a low price, and they value the people that trust them with their vehicles. Experience the difference and ask for the 1380 The Fan oil change special to save $17 off the low everyday price. Cruzy Automotive Service on Lima Road, north of Wallen, behind the Shell gas station.
Even though H&K Chevrolet is new to New Haven, they're hardly new to the business, founding their first dealership in Continental Ohio in 1960. H&K is pleased to make the New Haven location the third in the H&K family of dealerships. H&K has a large selection, competitive prices, outstanding customer service, and a transparent buying experience for your new Chevrolet or quality pre-owned vehicle. H&K Chevrolet honors GM employee and supplier pricing on all new Chevrolets. See their inventory online at hkchevyofnewhaven.com.
For over 40 years, Gibson's Heating and Plumbing has been a family-owned business built on professionalism, trust, and quality. As your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Gibson's is nationally recognized for excellence and locally known for being customer-loved. You'll see it in their work. You'll read it in the nearly 3,000 Google reviews. You'll experience it when they take care of your home. When you contact independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Gibson'sHeating.com. That's Gibson'sHeating.com.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's more from the high school football postgame show, live from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Now let's get back to the guys recapping all the action from tonight.
And welcome back to the Kester's High School Football Postgame Show, coming to you live from the new 1380 The Fan Postgame Studios as we continue to break down scores and results from in and around the area of 260 football. I can tell you right now, Brett is still making his way to the new studio. It's a little bit of a journey. It's a little bit of a trek out there from Leo, but he is making his way, and we're going to hear all about the fantastic game tonight between the Leo Lions and the Bishop Luers Knights. It should be a fantastic recap, and I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, we are still just waiting for a few more scores to go final in all of our conference's teams, although they are playing out of conference tonight. Can go ahead and run through our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard in just a minute. But, Josh, how does it feel to be back on the football grind here?
Hey, you know, it's good, and I'm glad that I'm getting to do it alongside you. We're going to have Brett Rump joining us here in not too long. Yeah, you know, he's making his way over here. We've been able to watch some of these games happen throughout the night and hear some of the excitement of just finally having football back here with us. And, you know, we got high school football. I mean, we got a little college football tomorrow. But tonight it's just been so great to have high school football back. And I know that we're kind of looking at the Carroll Chargers here. And I didn't see that one. I kind of thought that, you know, them HSE, I thought that would be a little bit more of a one-sided affair. But this has turned out to be an actual close, pretty good ball game here as we're getting to almost the final quarter.
We are actually getting to just the end of the game here, getting really close. Carroll took their final time out of the game 1 minute ago and trailing 14-7 to Hamilton Southeastern. But you said it, it's not one-sided. It's competitive. Hamilton Southeastern is a perennial power down there in central Indiana. And, Carroll is likely going to start the season 0-1, but I think the lessons that they're going to learn in some of these out-of-conference games will go to serve them in the long run.
And you know what, Adam, that's a very good point, because it's always we always have to keep that in mind. And unlike other states, in Indiana here, it's really a marathon. It's not the sprint. You could finish the season 0-10 here, and it won't really matter. It's what you do there going into the sectional time that's going to make the difference. So if you consider this, you basically have a whole regular season here to get yourself right, to get your players in the right positions that you want to go be successful. And then as a return of that, you will be ready for the sectional time and ready to make a run if you so choose. I always go back to the St. Joe Indians when they were back in South Bend. They only won 2 games. Went into the sectional and found themselves into the state final as a result of that. So regular season, it's great that it's here, but boy, it's the learning phase here, and it's time to find out who the teams are, and we're getting to learn. I mean, even going into tonight's game, we had Shannon on WoWo this morning talking a little bit about the game of the week, and he was unsure who the quarterbacks were even going to be, but that's the infancy of this season that we have upon us.
Yeah, I mean, I know even during our pregame show tonight out at Leo High School, out on the football field, during a pregame interview with Jason Dorfler, Leo's head coach, Jim just straight up had to ask him, who's going to be, will you tell us who your starting quarterback is going to be tonight? So sounded like they were kind of keeping things under wrap a little bit. But
kind of feels like a little bit of like Bo Schemblicher when he used to, you'll find out who the quarterback's going to be on Saturday morning.
No, he was willing to tell us, and Leo's quarterback was able to get the job done for them tonight. So fantastic. Just keeping our eye on some of our other area scores before I get to our H&K of Chevrolet scoreboard update here. And we'll see if we can get anything else for you before I jump on with some of these
Spartans,
final
they
scores.
I saw you looking at Homestead there. I know that they had a pretty tough matchup tonight against in Westfield.
Yeah, no question. Westfield always a good team, and it looks like as of about 10 minutes ago, it did go final. Homestead falls to Westfield by a score of 35-0. So the Spartans were shut out by Westfield. But like I said, it might be good experience for later on down the line when you're up going against SAC opponents. All right, well, now that I have that one for you, I can go ahead and run down some of our other finals that we have on our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. All right, well, I can tell you in our SAC area teams playing out of conference tonight that it was East Noble shutting out Wayne 42-0. Another final that just happened a moments ago, Cecina got the win over Concordia tonight 48-28. Ron Colley and Bishop Dwenger were in a defensive battle tonight, and it was Ron Colley getting the win by a field goal 3-0 over Bishop Dwenger. In our 1380 The Fan Game of the Week, which you heard right here on 1380 The Fan, presented by Midwest Box Breaks, it was Leo over Bishop Luers by a score of 14-7. Northrop shut out New Haven tonight, and I do want to mention we did get a text about this from one of our pregame show hosts. Northrop at New Haven's game was called early, so it did not go full fourth quarter due to fights among New Haven students in the stands. And apparently there are unconfirmed reports that somebody pulled out a gun. You don't ever want to hear anything like that going on at any high school football or any high school event in general. No place for that. Let everybody play the game and just be a good fan in the stands. They also mentioned that the Brewers were up 41-0 in the third with a running clock. So we're going with assuming it is a 41-0 win for the Northrop Bruins. But you just hate to hear that, and you hope everybody's okay. One more for our area teams in the SAC. This one just went final minutes ago. A game-sealing interception for the Snyder Panthers seals their fate, falling to Warsaw by a score of 38-30. But that looks like that was a good game with both teams throwing punches late. Moving on to Northeast 8 area teams playing out of conference tonight. It was a close one between Eastbrook and Huntington North. Eastbrook won 21-20. Heritage is over Belmont by a score of 42-0 tonight. And Mississinewa shut out the Norwell Knights 35-0. Moving on to ACAC teams playing out of conference tonight. It was Jay County over Blackford big 56-6. Eastside defeated Woodland tonight by a score of 38-6. Adams Central scored one touchdown, and that was enough to defeat Garrett by a score of 7-0. Marion Local out of Ohio. South Adams made the journey there tonight, and it was all Marion Local. They won 56-0 over South Adams. And one more AC area team competing tonight. It was Southern Wells at Elwood, and Elwood got the win over the Raiders 14-8. Northeast Corner Conference teams competing out of conference tonight. Churubusco over Bremen 36-7, and Fairfield got the win over Goshen 30-23. And that's a look at our H&K of Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. We're going to go ahead and take our next break here on our Kester's High School Football Postgame Show, powered by Pizza Hut at our new 1380 The Fan Studios. If you want to see us, hanging out here in our new studios, we'd love to invite you to come check out the stream. You can check it out at YouTube. Just search 1380 The Fan and find our live video, or on Facebook, search 1380 The Fan, and there's a link there. But check us out, stop by, leave a comment, tell us your thoughts about any of tonight's games. We welcome it. You're listening to the Kester's High School Football Postgame Show live on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
In New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks, including semi, dump, box, straight, and roll-off trucks, trailers, and more. Kester's has a state-of-the-art 70,000 square foot facility with a complete detail and wash facility with degrease bay and 2 10-tower frame racks and alignment rack for heavy trucks. Kester's can also lengthen and shorten frames. Kester's on Highway 930 East between the Cloverleaf and downtown New Haven. Online at KesterSales.com. It's time to make room for exciting fall fashions at Christopher James Menswear. That means everything from spring and summer must go now. You can save 70% on clearance items, including suits, sport coats, pants, denim, polos, sportswear, shoes, and more. Up to 70% savings. Spring and summer merchandise must move now to make room for new fall arrivals. 70% off. Spring and summer fashions now at Christopher James Menswear in Covington Plaza, where style and service are always in fashion.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Edding Insurance is an independent Medicare insurance agency in New Haven, Indiana. They understand that navigating Medicare can be overwhelming. That's why their team is dedicated to finding the perfect plan for your needs and budget. Whether you're new to Medicare or looking for a review of your current plan, they are there to simplify the process and ensure you get the coverage you deserve. Call Edding Insurance today at 744-3690 or online at eddingins.com. Edding Insurance makes Medicare easy.
We do not offer every plan available in your area. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options.
Here's more from the High School Football Postgame Show, live from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut. Now let's get back to the guys recapping all the action from tonight.
And welcome back to the Kester's High School Football Postgame Show on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM, coming to you live from our fantastic new studios, where we'll be coming to you every Friday night to summarize area games, talk about our scores, and preview next week's matchups and a whole lot more. We're hopefully going to be talking to a coach here tonight, a winning coach, and we're also going to be having Brett Rump join us, who was on the call of Leo Bishop Lures, our 1380 The Fan Game of the Week, brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks. And that was a good one, 14-7. You see a score like 14-7. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hear every play of the game, but you hear a score like 14-7. And you just assume that not only touchdowns were at a premium, but just yards in general were at a premium.
Or good defenses, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that these teams are going to be looking for as they continue to, go on throughout their schedule, and just a lot of teams letting up more points than I think they would have liked to tonight. Another game that I'm going to update you on real quick. There's about 6 minutes left in this game between Northside and Northridge. Northridge just scored a touchdown with about 6 minutes left to make it 21-7 for Northside over Northridge. There's also a very close one going on between Bluffton and Shenandoah. It is 27-26 Shenandoah, and that last update with about 2 minutes to go. Bluffton has the ball at the Shenandoah 45-yard line, and there's plenty of time and yardage thanks to a great kick to return by Cooper Craig. So shout out to Ryan Walker for giving us the update on that Bluffton-Shenandoah game. We'll keep you posted on that one and see how the final comes out on that one. But a lot of interesting games. We'd love to hear your comments on any of tonight's finals, whether it be Snyder falling to Warsaw. Did you expect it? Did you not expect it? Hamilton Southeastern, gets the win over Carroll, 14-7. Did you expect that score? We would love to hear your thoughts about any of tonight's games right here. You can check us out on our YouTube stream. Just search YouTube on YouTube, 1380 The Fan, or if you want, you can find another one on our Facebook. All right, I can tell you that a final between Columbia City and Northwood, it was a close one there as well. Columbia City gets the win over the Northwood Panthers, 27-24.
How about Columbia City, though? Hold on, phone, because I thought they were down big time in this game at one point. I think they only had 8 points, and Northwood was up there with that 24-point to 8 lead there. And here we go. Columbia City puts on their rally caps and said, oh, not today. Here we come. And they make it happen.
You can never count the Columbia City Eagles out of any game with that sort of offense that we've seen put on by the Eagles before. Yeah. That's definitely a fantastic comeback win from Columbia City, and we're going to have to see if we can find more details about how that one went down. Yeah. One more that just went final about 10 minutes ago. Angola got the win over DeKalb tonight by a score of 14-6. So the Hornets are going to start 1-0 on the season. All right. Let's go ahead and bring down all the rest of our scores. I do have a couple more finals here for you on our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. We're going to start in our SAC teams playing out of conference tonight. I just told you Hamilton Southeastern got a close win over the Carroll Chargers tonight, 14-7. It was not a close win for East Noble over Wayne. They shut out the Generals 42-0. Concordia went to Cecina tonight, and Cecina got the win over Concordia 48-28. Close one, a defensive battle between Bishop Dwenger and Ron Colley. Ron Colley gets the win over the Saints, 3-0. Our 1380 The Fan Game of the Week brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks. It was the Leo Lions over Bishop Luers by a score of 14-7. Northrop at New Haven. This game was called early in the third due to fighting in the stands, but the final was 41-0 for Northrop over New Haven. Homestead went down to Westfield tonight, and Westfield won the game 35-0. And one more, a shootout there at Snyder, at Spooler. It was Warsaw getting the win over the Panthers by a score of 38-30. Moving on to our Northeast 8 teams playing out of conference tonight, it was Angola getting the win over DeKalb, I just mentioned, 14-6. Columbia City won a close one over Northwood. We just talked about that one, 27-24. Another close one, it was Eastbrook over Huntington North, 21-20. Heritage shut out Belmont tonight by a score of 42-0, and it was Mississinawa shutting out the Norwell Knights 35-0. AC teams playing out of conference action tonight. Jay County over Blackford 56-6. Eastside over Woodland 38-6. Adams Central 7-0 over Garrett, and it was Marion Local, a team out of Ohio, defeating South Adams by a score of 56-0. One more AC team playing tonight. Southern Wells fell to Elwood 14-8. And Northeast Corner Conference teams, it was Churubusco defeating Bremen 36-7, and it was Fairfield defeating Goshen by a score of 30-23. That's a look at our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. We're going to take one more break here, and when we come back, we'll be talking more about tonight's game of the week between Leo and Bishop Luers. We're going to be talking about more finals and what they mean in regards to our standings. We're going to look at who's 0-1 and who's 1-0. And again, we invite you to stop by on our YouTube stream. Just search 1380 The Fan. We're on YouTube, and you can check us out doing the postgame show live in our fantastic new studios. All right, you're listening to the Kester's High School Football postgame show coming to you live on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Are you currently working with an insurance agent who represents a single company? If so, you are obviously limited to the products and rates that company has to offer. If I've just described your situation, you need to talk with the experts at Hoopy Insurance Services. Hoopy Insurance Services is an independent agent. That means they work with a number of top-notch companies, so they can find you the very best coverage for your specific situation at the very best price. Insurance is important. You need a partner who understands the industry and the coverages that are available, and a partner who will be there when you need help. In Fort Wayne, that partner is locally owned Hoopy Insurance Services. They've been taking care of your friends and neighbors for decades, and they can do the same for you. So call today at 486-7488. That's 486-7488. Or check them out on the web at Hoopy, HUPE-insurance.com. Hoopy.com. Hoopy Insurance, their family serving your family for over 40 years.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Kester's in New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks, including semi, dump, box, straight, and roll-off trucks, trailers, and more. Kester's has a state-of-the-art 70,000 square foot facility with a complete detail and wash facility with degrease bay and 2 10-tower frame racks and alignment rack for heavy trucks. Kester's can also lengthen and shorten frames. Kester's on Highway 930 East between the Cloverleaf and downtown New Haven. Online at KesterSales.com. Even though H&K Chevrolet is new to New Haven, they're hardly new to the business, founding their first dealership in Continental Ohio in 1960. H&K is pleased to make the New Haven location the third in the H&K family of dealerships. H&K has a large selection, competitive prices, outstanding customer service, and a transparent buying experience for your new Chevrolet or quality pre-owned vehicle. H&K Chevrolet honors GM employee and supplier pricing on all new Chevrolets. See their inventory online at hkchevyofnewhaven.com.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Here's more from the high school football postgame show, live from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut. Now let's get back to the guys recapping all the action from tonight.
And welcome back to the high school postgame show, brought to you by Kester's, coming to you live from the 1380 The Fan studios here on the south side of town, whereas I help my partner in crime here figure out his headphones. I'll let him work on that as I continue to bring you back into here to our high school football postgame show, brought to you by Kester's. And now I'm happy to welcome in my partner in crime. He made it over here from Leo. It's Brett Rump.
Yes, sir. We had a good night. We had a good, exciting game, what we were hoping to have, and the defenses ruled in the game we were at. And, of course, you've seen some extreme offensive games. You've seen some outstanding defensive efforts. In our game, it was primarily the defensive side that dominated. So we had some fun. It came down to a final punt for Leo where Bishop Lures sent 12 men on the field. And that penalty cost Lures any chance to make the comeback and get the game tied late. And so Leo gets the big win over the Bishop Lures Knights.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like it was a game where you had to capitalize on any mistakes made, and obviously that was a big one there that ended the run for Bishop Lures. But a little bit of a, did you expect this amount of scoring from that game tonight? Did you think it would be a 14-7, or you were thinking maybe you might see a couple more points on the board?
Well, I kind of figured it would be a lower scoring game. Didn't think it would be a shootout, but both teams have some young players that are getting a chance to play. For Bishop Lures, all of their skill players are almost sophomores. I mean, they came out with Tommy Reichert, the sophomore quarterback, big kid, 6'2", 195 pounds. He can sling it, but it's his first varsity action. And so, you don't want to put too much pressure on the youngster, but I thought he handled himself really well, led a key drive late in that first half when their team was down 7-0, and they got it tied 7-7. Second half, they had an opportunity, but the interception to start the second half was a big one. Riker threw it over the middle, kind of locked in on his receiver, and Nathan Foster, who got a chance to play some defense, made a huge interception for the Leo Lions, and that kind of changed the game. And Leo went on to score a touchdown, took the 14-7 lead, and then their defense made it hold up.
It's interesting, you mentioned all these new quarterbacks, and it's week one. We're just getting an idea of what these teams are going to start looking like throughout the season, and interesting stuff from a lot of scores throughout the area.
Yeah, I was hearing some of the scores as I was making the trek in from Leo, and Carroll had a good battle with Hamilton Southeastern. I wasn't sure what to expect from Carroll. Of course, it's game one for Carroll without Jimmy Sullivan as their quarterback, and that series has been kind of interesting. It's the third year in a row they've played, and the road team has won the previous two. Today, Hamilton Southeastern ends up getting the win over Carroll. East Noble, no problem with Wayne. I think that makes a statement for the East Noble Knights, and it's a disappointing start for Darian White, the new Wayne coach. And also a shame to hear what happened with the Northrop New Haven game.
Yeah, you hate to hear anything like that.
I mean, it puts really a black eye on our area football, because this will end up being news that circulates around the state. People will be buzzing about it on social media, about what happened, how it happened, and what was going on. It's just a shame. And I don't know how or who responds to it. Does the New Haven administration deal with it? Is it something the IHSAA gets involved with? We'll have to get some more details on exactly what happened, but the facts are the facts. That game did not finish because of something that happened, and we'll try to learn more as we go along. But we've got, I'm not used to having my mug on these Friday nights after I wrap up a football game, but where do we have people watch us?
Yeah, you can check us out on YouTube. That's where we're doing our stream from tonight. So if you just go to youtube.com and search 1380 The Fan, you'll find our live stream result as the first that pops up. Or if you want to find us via Facebook, we have a link to the stream on our Facebook page at 1380 The Fan. So either way, you can find us here. It's quite the fancy setup, though, isn't it, Brett? We look almost professional.
No, not quite. I will say this. It's, don't expect us to have the same professionalism as the appearance of the set.
Yeah, that doesn't quite exactly match up. But, there's still just a couple more games going here waiting for the finals. I can tell you Northridge at Northside is getting really close to coming down to the wire with a Northside leading over Northridge 21-7, but just still waiting for that one to go final. Another one we're still waiting for to get the final report on is Southside taking on Marion tonight. I can tell you the latest report was about 25 minutes ago. Southside had a 35-28 lead over Marion with a minute to play in the third quarter. If you have any newer updates, feel free to let us know on our stream at YouTube 1380 The Fan.
So Dwenger took the 2-hour trip down to play Roncalli.
Yeah.
And got shut out and loses on a field goal.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened.
Boy, that's got to be disappointing. In fact, you look and both Dwenger and Lures lose close non-conference games, one-score contest. I'll tell you, the score that jumps out at me is actually not an SAC score. You got to go all the way down to the ACAC on our list of games, and it's the Adams Central Garrett score. Because last year, Garrett set the tone for the entire season with their upset against Adams Central. And that was a really special class at Garrett. That was a group of seniors that had played since they were sophomores. Chris Depew kind of guided that group through, their first year as sophomores, their second year, building that program as juniors, and then knowing he had a special group as seniors. And they went out and they proved it in the very first game of the season against Adams Central, getting the huge win over the Flying Jets. And all of a sudden, we took notice of Garrett. And what did they do? They ran the table. They ended up not losing a single game. They rode the momentum of that win and took it all the way through the season. They almost did it again, and they graduated a lot of those players from that team last year and just about repeated the feat, this time in Monroe at Adams Central, and a 7-0 score. And we know that Adams Central offense can put up points. It always puts up points. And it's 2 years in a row that Garrett has held them, I believe, to just a touchdown. I'm trying to remember the final score from last year, but like 20-6 or 20-7 kind of sticks in my head. But that's an impressive game. And so, Garrett, there's no shame when you lose to a team as good as Adams Central. And Adams Central, just to give you an idea of how that program, where that program is, they scrimmaged against Bishop Dwenger last week. I mean, they'll take on all comers. And so that game, 7-0, ended up being a lot closer than I think a lot of people expected, knowing all of the graduation from that Garrett team. And then Cherubusco. What a nice win for Cherubusco against Bremen. The Bremen team's a team that's consistently been 500 or in that vicinity, and Cherubusco's been down the last couple of years. And so for Cherubusco to have a dominant win at home, they set a tone for the season. They send a message, and that's a nice win up in Turtletown for the Cherubusco Eagles. So 36-7 is impressive over Bremen. But, of course, it's all about getting you the scores as you're driving home from games. In fact, some people might be driving back into town because if you traveled with our teams down to the Indianapolis area, you might be, trying with the radio or maybe even connecting on our stream, which is a nice thing. You can always listen to the show on the 1380 The Fan app or on the stream at 1380thefan.com. You can actually watch the show. Even if you're in Indianapolis, you can be watching the show on YouTube because you can see this worldwide. So if you're coming out of Indianapolis and you want to get an idea what happened back in Fort Wayne today, we're glad to have you on board with us. But we want to give you all of the scores, get you up to date. And some of the games that just went final, you got a lot of people out in their cars right now. So let's go ahead and get another rundown of our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven High School football scoreboard.
All right, thanks, Brett. We're going to start with our SAC area teams playing out of conference tonight. It was, excuse me.
That's going around, isn't it? I mean, I usually have trouble with the voice after calling a game. But I think it's just something in the air tonight.
Yeah, you know what? We'll get through it. SAC area teams in action tonight out of conference. It was Hamilton Southeastern over Carroll 14-7. East Noble shuts out Wayne 42-0. Cecina defeated Concordia 48-28. Roncalli in a close one over Bishop Dwenger 3-0. Our 1380 The Fan game of the week brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks, which you heard right here. It was Leo over Bishop Lures 14-7. Northrop shuts out New Haven in a game that did not finish all four quarters by a score of 41-0. Westfield shuts out the Homestead Spartans by a score of 35-0, and it was an exciting one between Warsaw and Snyder. Warsaw gets the win, 38-30. Northeast 8 teams playing out of conference tonight. It was Angola over DeKalb, 14-6. Columbia City with a close win over Northwood, 27-24. Eastbrook, another close win over Huntington North, 21-20. Heritage shuts out Belmont 42-0, and it was Mississinawa over Norwell 35-0. ACAC teams playing out of conference tonight. Jay County over Blackford 56-6. Eastside defeated Woodland 38-6. Adams Central shuts out Garrett, but only scores a touchdown, winning 7-0. And South Adams went to Marion Local in Ohio tonight, and they were shut out. Marion Local wins over South Adams 56-0. And one more for you in the ACAC teams. It was Southern Wells falling to Elwood. Elwood wins 14-8. Northeast Corner Conference teams playing out of conference tonight. Cherubusco over Bremen 36-7. Fremont over Blackhawk 42-6. Fairfield defeats Goshen 30-23. St. Joseph over Lakeland 36-6. And it was West Noble over Central Noble 35-8. And those are your scores so far.
I had this quick game tonight, and we had talked about me calling in, and, I thought, oh, shoot, it's 9:10, which is like 30 minutes faster than an average game is going to take. So I thought, I can go ahead and I can help Adam out.
I appreciate it.
Well, the only problem is that, by the time you get to the car, and then you wade through the traffic, and then you realize you're like 40 miles from the new studio.
It was a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, and so I was kind of timing it, and it's like from the time the game ended until I got here, it was over an hour of time. But I'm glad I could make it out here and join you for kind of a debut broadcast tonight. But But also we want to thank our sponsors, Kester's Truck Sales, new on board as our post-game sponsor. Great folks. They are very supportive of the sports scene. And, check them out. Kester'sTruckSales.com. You can find out all the information about Kester's. Also, big thanks to Pizza Hut. Very understanding people, great relationship, and we always appreciate Pizza Hut and can't wait to get back out to Pizza Hut and get the hospitality and the great service and, of course, the wonderful menu items and our Friday night. Well, it's our Friday night buffet, or at least for me it is. Usually wrapping up my Friday night with some great pizza from Pizza Hut. If you don't have the app, get it and make sure you get things ordered through your Pizza Hut app.
Yeah.
But we've got to take a break because we've got a lot still coming up. We're here until 11 o'clock, and we hopefully will be talking to a couple of coaches that had some victories tonight. I know the first games are always a little strange because some of the coaches' meetings, some of the discussions, some of the gathering of film or whatever it might be. Of course, it's not film now, it's all digital, but getting the video, it's all quite an exercise. And I know a lot of the coaches are probably listening right now. So, hey, if you want to give us a call, we would love to hear from you at, what is the number? 260-447-8500.
You nailed it.
Okay.
You still got it.
I had to try to remember. But, you can always give us a call. But we will have some guests coming up on the show, and we'll continue here live from the mic. It's our new special studio home for the high school football scoreboard on Friday night. Adam will be making his home base here. And so we'll come back as we debut the new surroundings, the video. You can check us out. And we would love to have you comment, too, whether on Facebook or maybe even on YouTube. You can let us know what's going on in your Friday night and what you thought about some of our high school football finals. But we'll do all that when we return. It's the high school football postgame show being presented by Kester's Truck Sales and powered by Pizza Hut on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Are you currently working with an insurance agent who represents a single company? If so, you are obviously limited to the products and rates that company has to offer. If I've just described your situation, you need to talk with the experts at Hoopy Insurance Services. Hoopy Insurance Services is an independent agent. That means they work with a number of top-notch companies, so they can find you the very best coverage for your specific situation at the very best price. Insurance is important. You need a partner who understands the industry and the coverages that are available, and a partner who will be there when you need help. In Fort Wayne, that partner is locally owned Hoopy Insurance Services. They've been taking care of your friends and neighbors for decades, and they can do the same for you. So call today at 486-7488. That's 486-7488. Or check them out on the web at Hoopy, HUPE-insurance.com. Hoopy Insurance, their family serving your family for over 40 years.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Kester's in New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks, including semi, dump, box, straight, and roll-off trucks, trailers, and more. Kester's has a state-of-the-art 70,000 square foot facility with a complete detail and wash facility with degrease bay and 2 10-tower frame racks and alignment rack for heavy trucks. Kester's can also lengthen and shorten frames. Kester's on Highway 930 East between the Cloverleaf and downtown New Haven. Online at KesterSales.com. Even though H&K Chevrolet is new to New Haven, they're hardly new to the business, founding their first dealership in Continental Ohio in 1960. H&K is pleased to make the New Haven location the third in the H&K family of dealerships. H&K has a large selection, competitive prices, outstanding customer service, and a transparent buying experience for your new Chevrolet or quality pre-owned vehicle. H&K Chevrolet honors GM employee and supplier pricing on all new Chevrolets. See their inventory online at hkchevyofnewhaven.com.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Here's more from the high school football postgame show, live from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Now let's get back to the guys recapping all the action from tonight.
Welcome back to the Custer's Truck Sales postgame show. We are coming to you live from the mic on the southwest side of town. It is our new base for the scoreboard each and every week, and Adam Lundy will be based here on Friday nights, and I came out here to join him for the opening week of the high school football season. We, of course, had a good game for our first game of the year with the Bishop Luers Knights and the Leo Lions. It was a battle. Leo finally broke through, scored first with about 5 minutes left in the first half, but Bishop Luers put together a nice 5-minute drive and finished it on the final play of the first half, where they had their sophomore quarterback, Tommy Reichert, throw a nice fade into the corner and just put it right inside the pylon. His receiver went up, did a nice toe tap, and it was all tied up at halftime 7-7. The second half, primarily defense took over, but Leo did take advantage of an interception, and they were able to take it a short field and get it into the end zone for a touchdown. That gave them the 14-7 lead, and eventually Leo held on and won 14-7. But the story of this one was a little over a minute left, and Leo lining up to punt. They were going to give the ball back to Bishop Luers and give the Knights a chance on a final drive, but unfortunately Bishop Luers, coming out of a timeout, sent 12 players onto the field, and the referee caught it, threw the flag, and the penalty gave Leo the first down, and that put the game away for the Leo Lions. They defeat Bishop Luers tonight 14-7. It's a good win for a former coach out of the Summit Athletic Conference, Jason Dorfler. Of course, he coached Northrop at one point, and a former Concordia cadet. He was a quarterback for the Concordia Cadets at one time. But tonight, Leo gets the win. It was pretty much what we expected from Leo. They want to run the football first and maybe even run the football second, and then only throw it when you start to stack the box and try to sneak in a few passes. But tonight, what they did was they gave it to Nathan Foster when they needed to have a play, and Nathan Foster delivered. He had a 55-yard run to set up a touchdown in that first half, and then he made the key interception playing some defense. At the safety position, he kind of came up, read the route over the middle of the field, and picked off Tommy Reichert, the sophomore quarterback for Bishop Luers, and that led to a touchdown in the second half. So big night for Nathan Foster, for the Leo Lions. That's what we expected. When I talked to Jason Dorfler before the game, I said, these two teams are pretty even. The one thing that I think is in your advantage is you do have the best player on the field tonight, because you've got an experienced running back who can do some really great things. And he said yes, and he's going to get the ball a lot. And he did, and he made plays, and he made just enough of them for Leo to get the win. But you know, the Leo defense had to go up against that monster offensive line for Bishop Luers. They are huge. I mean, you're talking 280, 275, 325, 320. I mean, these are big guys up front. In fact, Kyle Lindsay's described it as the biggest offensive line that they've ever had at Bishop Luers. And so Luers wanted to run the football and kind of establish their physical presence up front. But credit to Leo. They handled that offensive line pretty well. And they didn't let Bishop Luers just steamroll them with that big offensive line. And I think that was the key to the Leo defense, is being able to match up the physical presence that you had from those big offensive linemen for Bishop Luers. But Luers is going to come around, and the thing with Luers is they're only going to get better because there are a lot of sophomores on the field in skill positions, including a quarterback. And they're also going to get better year after year, even if they don't have a repeat of the last couple of years with this group. I think this group is going to develop into a solid football team. It might be this year, it could be next year, but definitely by the time they're seniors, you're going to see some things out of Bishop Luers with this young skill set group of players that they've got that are just sophomores. So kind of an exciting game tonight, went right down to the finish, and a quick game.
Yeah, nice and quick. You were able to get over here to our post-game studio.
I couldn't believe when, I mean, that's probably the fastest game we've had in years.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see it. I mean, when we started my post-game show here, we were waiting for you to come in. Not only that, but we were also waiting for a bunch of scores to still come in, too. I was only reading through 2 or 3 or 4 to start the show, but we got a lot of finals now.
That was the problem we had at halftime. Our first half was even faster than the second half, and so the first half, we sent it to the halftime scoreboard, and everything was like first and second quarter. The other factor we had, because it's non-conference, a lot of the games in our area didn't start till 7:30.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the teams that had to go from Fort Wayne against Indy, you had a lot of 7:30 starts. So it wasn't easy for Macy in her first night handling the halftime scoreboard. But she got through it, and you got through it. Of course, you're an old pro doing this. So
I'm just a salty old veteran.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem for you. In fact, speaking of the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven High School football scoreboard, let's go ahead and give everybody another rundown of tonight's final scores.
All right, let's do it. We're going to start in the SAC. Of course, all teams playing out of conference tonight, but it was Carroll falling to Hamilton Southeastern. Hamilton Southeastern gets the win over Carroll 14-7. It was East Noble over Wayne 42-0. Cecina defeated Concordia 48-28. Roncalli wins with a field goal over Bishop Dwenger by a score of 3-0. In our 1380 The Fan Game of the Week, presented by Midwest Box Breaks, it was Leo over Bishop Luers 14-0. Northrop shut out New Haven 41-0 in a game that did not go technically final. It was called early. Westfield shuts out Homestead at Westfield by a score of 35-0. Northside over Northridge went final. It was Northside winning over Northridge 21-7. And Warsaw got the win over Snyder tonight 38-30. Northeast 8 teams playing out of conference tonight. Angola over DeKalb 14-6. Columbia City wins a close one over Northwood 27-24. Eastbrook also in a close one wins over Huntington North 21-20. Heritage shut out Belmont 42-0, and it was Mississinewa over Norwell 35-0. ACAC teams playing out of conference action tonight. Jay County over Blackford 56-6. Bluffton defeated Shenandoah 29-27. Eastside over Woodland 38-6. Adams Central over Garrett 7-0. Marion Local, a team out of Ohio, defeated South Adams tonight 56-0, and Southern Wells went to Elwood. Elwood got the win 14-8 over the Raiders. Northeast Corner Conference teams out of action tonight. Churubusco over Bremen 36-7. Fremont over Blackhawk Christian 42-6. Fairfield defeats Goshen 30-23. St. Joseph of South Bend defeated Lakeland 36-6. West Noble over Central Noble 35-8. And Whitco defeated Prairie Heights 30-22 to snap a 19-game losing streak.
You know, we heard from Mr. Vegas, one of our big fans. Mr. Vegas was telling me about the Snyder game. Said Snyder was driving at the end. They had a wide receiver and quarterback that didn't get out of bounds. It wasted a lot of the time for their final drive, apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see or hear anything about this game, but that's coming in from Mr. Vegas, so we appreciate his comment.
Yeah, I can tell you that it was 30. Warsaw had the lead over Snyder, and then Snyder had to score a touchdown and then do a 2-point conversion to get it to 30 all. Warsaw came back, made it 36-30, and then their 2-point conversion was good, so 38-30. And then Snyder, like Mr. Vegas said, had the ball, but apparently let too much time come off the clock. It kind of rushed their last play of the game, which was a throw that ended up being intercepted by Warsaw, which was the final dagger.
So we are still trying to hopefully snag a couple of coaches for this show.
Yes.
And I'm trying to catch up and do some texting myself.
Hey, you got to do it.
and see if a couple of guys might be available and that we can talk to them on the show. Once again, give us a thought on what was the surprise for you tonight. Was there a surprise? Whether the margin of victory, an offensive or defensive type game, what stood out for you tonight? Of course, Roncalli Dwenger playing a 3-0 contest.
Shootout.
Did you expect that was going to be a defensive affair? You had East Noble with the dominant win over Wayne. Did you expect, because remember last year, East Noble struggled with Snyder's athleticism.
Yeah.
And so you kind of thought, okay, Wayne's very athletic. They've got a new coach. They're trying to establish a new culture at Wayne. And you thought maybe Wayne would be pumped up for this game and try to prove a point. East Noble just came in and took care of business.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a lot of people thinking it might be a bit more competitive, but East Noble, like you said earlier in the broadcast, made a statement with this win over the Wayne Generals, shutting them out 42-0 and kind of early cementing themselves as one of the powers up here in Northeast Indiana.
But we'll check with the coaches and see if we can snag a couple before we wrap things up. And, of course, I believe coming up at 11 o'clock, we've got Bob Lovell. And, of course, Indiana Sports Talk, where we'll take you around the entire state of Indiana with high school football, not just in Northeast Indiana, but throughout the state. That is still coming up. But as we continue here on a Friday night, stay with us. And if you haven't checked it out, get to YouTube, get to Facebook, go to 1380 The Fan, and be sure to give us a watch tonight and see what you think.
It's really cool.
Yeah, you can leave us a comment there on our YouTube page at 1380 The Fan on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. This is the Kester's postgame show powered by Pizza Hut from 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Are you currently working with an insurance agent who represents
Okay, I
a single
texted.
company? If so, you are obviously limited to the products and rates that company has to offer. If I've just described your situation, you need to talk with the experts at Hoopy Insurance Services. Hoopy Insurance Services is an independent agent. That means they work with a number of top-notch companies, so they can find you the very best coverage for your specific situation at the very best price. Insurance is important. You need a partner who understands the industry and the coverages that are available, and a partner who will be there when you need help. In Fort Wayne, that partner is locally owned Hoopy Insurance Services. They've been taking care of your friends and neighbors for decades, and they can do the same for you. So call today at 486-7488. That's 486-7488. Or check them out on the web at Hoopy, HUPE-insurance.com. Hoopy Insurance, their family serving your family for over 40 years.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Kester's in New Haven is your one-stop shop when it comes to trucks, including semi, dump, box, straight, and roll-off trucks, trailers, and more. Kester's has a state-of-the-art 70,000 square foot facility with a complete detail and wash facility with degrease bay and 2 10-tower frame racks and alignment rack for heavy trucks. Kester's can also lengthen and shorten frames. Kester's on Highway 930 East between the Cloverleaf and downtown New Haven. Online at KesterSales.com. Even though H&K Chevrolet is new to New Haven, they're hardly new to the business, founding their first dealership in Continental Ohio in 1960. H&K is pleased to make the New Haven location the third in the H&K family of dealerships. H&K has a large selection, competitive prices, outstanding customer service, and a transparent buying experience for your new Chevrolet or quality pre-owned vehicle. H&K Chevrolet honors GM employee and supplier pricing on all new Chevrolets. See their inventory online at hkchevyofnewhaven.com.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
Hut. Now get back to the guys recapping all the action from tonight.
Here at the mic, it is the Kester's Truck Sale Postgame Show, presented or powered by Pizza Hut. And still some technical issues we're trying to work out with our new location and try to figure out how everything is connected and set up. So we apologize if we have a few moments, but we're figuring it out as we go along, and we're glad that you've joined us, whether it is by YouTube, by Facebook, by regular radio, where you generally find us on Friday night, and of course the 1380 The Fan app, where you can stream us. So if you're out of range, maybe coming back from Indianapolis, that would be an option. If you want to have a good clear signal coming out of Indy, you get a perfect signal by streaming 1380 The Fan at 1380 The Fan app or 1380thefan.com. But you can leave us comments a number of ways. You could text us at 260-447-8500. You can also leave messages on our Facebook stream, which is live now, or on the YouTube stream, which you can also check out. If you've got any comments about high school football tonight, opening week, it is kind of the week where you make your statement. You've been working all summer. You've been working during the camp that leads up to the start of the season, and you want to come out and show what all that work has done. All that work that started back in January, what has it meant? And I mentioned that the game we saw with Leo and Bishop Luers, I think both teams are going to feel like they've got a lot of positives that they're taking out of the opening night game. For Bishop Luers, solid defensively. They've got a young sophomore group that is in skill positions, and they played, I think, pretty well. Yeah, Javens as the wide receiver made a couple of big plays, including a huge touchdown catch in the back corner of the end zone. You had the guy that threw it to him, Tommy Reichert, who won a quarterback battle at Bishop Luers, 6'2", 195 pounds. He's got the size you want out of a quarterback. He had some real plays. I mean, on a fourth down play, he threw a dart over the middle. It was 4th and 12, and he threw about a 20-yard dart right to the tight end, and it was caught. In fact, it was Javens, the wide receiver, who actually caught it. The problem is they had a man downfield, and it got brought back. But a lot of bright spots for Bishop Luers, even in the loss. You know, and if you remember, Bishop Luers won a state championship the year that they lost their first 2 games by about 40 points each. They went to East Noble and got absolutely hammered. They came home. I think the home game was against New Haven. Got blown out by the New Haven Bulldogs. And I mean, 0-2 and 2 embarrassing losses. And you could, kind of throw in the towel. But the kids stayed true to themselves, and they fought their way through. They ended up turning it around, having some momentum late in the season, taking that momentum into the playoffs, and when they played against 2A teams, they dominated. And they ended up going all the way to a state championship. So it's not like we can go through the scores and say, oh, this team must not have offense this year. They're going to go 0-9.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not that way.
You know the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. And like you said, this is a sophomore quarterback getting his first start out there on the varsity field. And it takes time. You're not going to be, unless you're going to be a number 1 NFL draft pick, I don't think you're going to be out there having a perfect game as a sophomore. So like you said, it's going to take maybe not even this season, but next season or the season after for Bishop Luers to reach the heights that we've seen them at and know they can reach.
All right, I'm trying to calculate how the conferences did, because this is non-conference. And so this is kind of a bragging time for the conferences when they go out and play teams from out of conference. And for the Summit Athletic Conference, not a great first week. Right now, a 2-7 record, and that will depend. The final record will depend on the Southside Marion final. What was the latest we had on Southside Marion?
Yeah, we still do not have any new particular updates on Southside taking on Marion. The latest update was still, a minute to play in the third quarter, almost an hour ago, and that was Southside 35, Marion 28. So I'm guessing it sounds like Marion might have tied it up, and we'll have a close game there, but still no final.
And so 2-7 with that game pending. And then you look at the NE8, and I'll let you kind of give me the finals.
Yeah.
What was the final on Angola DeKalb?
Yeah, Angola defeated DeKalb tonight by a score of 14-6.
Columbia City, they got the win, didn't they? Didn't they come back against
Yeah,
Northwood?
they came back and they won a close one over Northwood, 27-24.
Huntington North fell by a point to Eastbrook, 21-20. That kind of a heartbreaker for the Vikings. And then Belmont, the losing streak continues. It's now 33 straight games that Belmont has lost. It's been a while. You'd have to go back on multiple calendars to go find the last time Belmont won. This time it was Heritage over Belmont. And then Mississinawa shut out Norwell, and that was at Norwell.
Yep.
35-0. And so for the NE8, you look at their scores, and you had East Noble with the win over Wayne. You had Leo with the win over Bishop Luers, and that was the only two from the NE8 that played the SAC. And so the final record for the NE8, 3-4.
Leaves a little bit to be desired, but they did better than the SAC.
Well, ACAC, Jay County gets a win. Bluffton gets an exciting win over Shenandoah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Woodland fell to Eastside. Adams Central gets the 7-0 win over Garrett. You had South Adams with a tough night at Marion Local, Ohio. That's a Ohio Power. And I don't think South Adams will probably face another team that's as good as that Marion Local team. And then you've got Southern Wells falling to Elwood. So the ACAC tonight finishes 3-3. Nope, I got to give them a win. That's Heritage. Heritage had the win over Belmont, and I forgot to count that one. So they actually finished 4-3. So the ACAC had a winning record. And the NECC, you had Cherubusco with a win. You had Garrett with the loss. You had Fremont beating Blackhawk, Fairfield beating Goshen. St. Joe was all over Lakeland, and so our buddy Ryan Eaton probably a little disappointed tonight.
Rough night.
West Noble beats Central Noble, but those two teams are both in the NECC, so it kind of neutralizes. And then you had Whitco at Prairie Heights. Did Prairie Heights? Whitco got that win.
Yeah, they did. They won 30-22 over Prairie Heights, snapping a 19-game losing streak for Whitco. So good job for them.
So in actual non-conference action in the NECC, you ended up with, let's see, that's a loss, that's a win, and a win. Good night for the NECC.
Let's go. Hey, going back to that Bluffton win over Shenandoah, we got to give a shout-out to freshman from Bluffton, Ethan Rybick. He nailed a 30-yard field goal with just about 30 seconds left to give the Tigers the lead, so they win 29-27.
A freshman kicker.
How about
with
that?
All the pressure of the game on the line, and he nails a 30-yard field goal. So congratulations to not only the freshman, but also to the Bluffton Tigers, who get the big win against Shenandoah tonight in dramatic fashion. All right, we'll take a break, and we will come back. I don't know if we'll have time now, but we finally got a hold of a coach who responded to us. We've got 7 minutes of a show left, and he finally said, yes, no problem, I'll join you.
We'll see if we can get him here soon.
Yeah, so we'll take a break. It is the Kester's Truck Sales postgame show, wrapping up week 1 on a Friday night, powered by Pizza Hut on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Are you currently working with an insurance agent who represents a single company? If so, you are obviously limited to the products and rates that company has to offer. If I've just described your situation, you need to talk with the experts at Hoopy Insurance Services. Hoopy Insurance Services is an independent agent. That means they work with a number of top-notch companies, so they can find you the very best coverage for your specific situation at the very best price. Insurance is important. You need a partner who understands the industry and the coverages that are available, and a partner who will be there when you need help. In Fort Wayne, that partner is locally owned Hoopy Insurance Services. They've been taking care of your friends and neighbors for decades, and they can do the same for you. So call today at 486-7488. That's 486-7488. Or check them out on the web at Hoopy, HUPE-insurance.com. Hoopy Insurance, their family serving your family for over 40 years.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold hand-stretched personal pizzas. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate. And for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats on PizzaHut.com or the Pizza Hut app today. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the postgame show presented by Kester's Truck Sales and powered by Pizza Hut. I am Brett Rump along with Adam Lundy, Macy Gray in the studio, and joining us is the winning coach in our game of the week. And I thought it was only fair to invite him to come on the show because I thought he might want to put something into my face. Because I do believe he said, or at least hit the Twitter, the X account for Leo football. I don't know if it was actually from the coach, but the X account did say they were going to prove me wrong, make me eat my words, because I did pick Bishop Luers to win the game tonight. But Leo gets the win, 14-7, and Jason Dorfler, the coach of the Leo Lions, joining us. Good win tonight, Coach.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, and that was not me threatening throwing food in your face there.
Well, you know, I thought it would be a good game. I thought it was a 50-50 type game. Just wasn't sure exactly. I'll tell you what swayed me was that monster offensive line for Bishop Luers. I just wasn't sure how you were going to be able to handle that kind of physical presence because that's a college line. That's not a high school line. I thought your defense did a great job in handling things in the trenches.
Absolutely. You know, I think, yeah, you're right on them. I mean, I think they average 290 pounds up front, and they can move. They're athletic, and then they also have some dudes on the defensive line that are really, really impressive too. So, yeah, I mean, our defense played outstanding. I thought our one of the keys to our game also was our punting. You know, we were able to flip field position when we were backed up, and then the defense did a great job. But, yeah, I mean, I think both teams kind of mirror each other in terms of what we're good at. You know, we have good offense and defensive lines just like them, and we're very young elsewhere, and that's kind of Bishop Luers as well. So, yeah, it was a heck of a game, and we're fortunate to be on the winning end.
I know we're running up against the clock, Coach, but I do have to ask you real quick. Nathan Foster got him into the defense there to start the second half, and it took one play for him to change the tone of the football game.
Absolutely. He's a special player. He's a game changer in all phases. So, you know, we like to, especially early in the year, try to save him and get him to play through the entire season, but in key games and close games like tonight, you know, he's one of our better defensive players as well. So he's a heck of a football player, and definitely glad he's on our team.
Coach, I appreciate it. Not much time here at the end of the show, but I really appreciate you making an effort to join us, and best of luck the rest of the way. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
Yep, that is Coach Dorfler from the Leo Lions, tonight's winner in our game of the week, 14-7 over the Bishop Luers Knights. Well, that wraps it up. Hopefully you've enjoyed, whether you've watched, whether you listened. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Looking forward to next week when the Center Grove.
Oh, gosh, you just threw me under the bus.
Yeah, I know. I said "the" and I got myself caught.
The Center
Grove will take on Carroll next week. By then, we will know the nickname of Center Grove.
We better.
But that'll be a heck of a game out of Carroll, and that will be our Midwest Box Breaks high school football game of the week. Big thanks to everybody behind the scenes. Macy Gray, our studio producer. Of course, all the hosts of our pregame show. Shannon Griffith for joining me during the game. And it will be the Center Grove Trojans that will be taking on the Carroll Chargers next week. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Adam Lundy to my left. I am Brett Rump. This has been the Kester's Postgame Show, powered by Pizza Hut from 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Pizza Hut. This has been a presentation of 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM, Fort Wayne Sports.